It's your boy JS1 Supply at VVCRadio.com. Aries Lounge 1-on-1. We are back in the building with another phenomenal day. It's a day of days, man. Yeah. It's a day of days. Yes. Sunday. Yo, I have got the owner, operator, visionary. Could we use visionary? Partner. Mogul, because you got multiple things going on. You got a little mogul-y type of vibe.
Time to go for the mogul title, you know what I mean? But
looks like he got a ring on his hand, so he might be
take the mini mogul.
Yeah, you got hubby. He
in
look
my
like
household. I'm the boss in my household.
Boss of your household. That makes you a mogul right there. You probably got kids out here.
My wife gonna be like, yo, what the freak?
They call him Poppy Chuno. Yo, I got
curse
AKA.
On here, can we?
We have the inventor and the operator of City of Gods, the brand, the building, and the clothing line.
Peace,
and Mr. Frazier is in the building. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up?
I'm trying to be like you when I grow up.
Safe, pound.
Definitely, all day. We're not 6 feet apart, but we got enough space going on.
It's droplets flying everywhere. I can see them through the light.
That's crazy. So that brings in a whole nother thing I didn't think about. I didn't even put that into my question. Like how City of Gods is faring in this COVID time period. Like give me a quick 1-2 about that. Like how are you holding up during this?
Thanks for the introduction. City of Gods is definitely happy to be here on the show, and I want to say that during these times, it's good to see a podcast is still thriving, making waves, and the content is great. So I want to shout out to you. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So we basically started to renovate. One of our main goals was during March to renovate. So it hit right when COVID hit. So we shut down the perfect time.
Gotcha.
And we renovated from March. It took a little bit longer to June, and it turned out to be pretty good. Our initial move was we had my old partner Aries was running a athleisure line called Motion.
Gotcha.
And we were doing it within the City of Gods, and then he broke off and did a total new store. Where it was athleisure, and we stayed streetwear.
Gotcha.
So it was that time which we did the move, and we started renovating, came back out full force around end of July, and it ended up being pretty good because when opening, everything started opening, and we started opening. So it worked out pretty good. It's kind of slow to get people back into the mood of coming to the shop, but it's an event shop. The renovation is more based on the time. So it's like a place you want to come and experience what we got going on.
Word.
So for the people who haven't been down there yet, I'm saving it to when you come down, you're going to see, if you haven't been down to City of Gods or you haven't been in a while, come back and you're going to see the whole concept come to life.
Okay. You mind if I bring the cameras down one day and maybe
bring the cameras down?
My man.
It's gonna be a treat for people to see. Oh, this store is definitely. I think we have 4 renovations in the last 11 years, so this is the 4th one.
God bless. God bless.
Fresh,
the fact
pockets hurt though after that renovation.
They always do. And they always do. Every time we gotta do something.
Giving no black man loans.
Tell them again. Niggas don't understand.
They getting that. Well, it's some people out here getting money. There are some SBA loans. There are some, them PP and all that.
I was never ever
some unemployment.
That's a fact.
Stops.
That's right. Shout out to what's that dude Blue something from the from that R&B group, Pretty Ricky. That nigga, he $24 million. They put him in jail.
Damn. Yeah, he went for Aries and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So I know y'all hustling, but watch.
Usually dudes like that, they're like, we're gonna reduce your time if you tell us how you did it. You know what I mean? But they probably already found out.
They made an example out of him. When I saw that, I was like, they gonna make an example out of this dude, because that was the first time they had ever had a documented person. Like, all right, this is the person that we're gonna charge with this. So yeah. Oh, he black and he like a singer rapper person. Right. Oh, we gonna hang him upside down.
Send a message out to these niggas.
That's a fact. They love to send messages.
Right. They love a tax lynching. And,
that's a fact. They love to send messages.
IRS lynching.
That's a fact. All right, Frazier. Where were you born?
Hey, Queens, New York.
Really?
Queens, New York.
Okay.
I came down here to go to Morgan State. Shout out to MSU.
Get
And
out of here. What year?
I'm a proud graduate of Morgan State in the 90s. I'm going to save everything for the book.
Okay.
So with the 90s era, we call ourselves the golden era.
Okay.
So the book you just mentioned.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be in there.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. All right.
So we ended up coming down. I ended up coming down and staying, and then I ended up loving Baltimore. And I think one of the things that I love is because a lot of people from New York ended up staying here from Morgan. So, we got apartments and we set up and, just really started to go into, venture into the culture. And,
when you say venture into the culture, what specifically do you mean? What part of the culture are you venturing into?
Well, poetry.
Okay,
that was one of the biggest cultures in the coming out of the 90s.
Yeah.
Which was the the poetry, it was Love Jones was hot, and
that's a fact.
Love Jones was the setup,
But I feel like we was even more Afrocentric in Baltimore than even because I felt like they had a cool like little modern vibe in Love Jones where if you go to the spots in Baltimore, the Warm Wednesdays and this and that, a third, it was dashiki down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They had all of the homemade soaps and the incense.
Part of the book. Yeah, I mean, I'm documenting, all that era in Baltimore really pushed a lot of creativity. That's the time when Raheem Devon was here heavy, and it was a lot of poetry lounges. People were, really networking as artists.
Right.
It was coming out of the era of club, so much dominant to hip hop and R&B. So I got inspired off of that. From there.
Were you a poet?
I was not. I was an observer of culture. You know what I mean? Like soaking it in. And, from looking at what took place in that movement, I was like, okay, it's a time for Baltimore to shine because I heard a lot of chatter about like this is going to be the next wave. We heard that a lot of times. How, there was going to be a next wave of like what happened in Baltimore in the 1900s with Dizzy Gillespie. Well, I would say Cab Calloway, Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yep.
Everybody's waiting for that
the jazz wave to happen.
Second, third wave in Baltimore to take place. So I wanted to be a part of that, So the biggest thing that I, did at that time was really just go the route of being an observer of what was going on on the scene of arts, culture, music, and particularly events. I really started. That's when the event scene was really, popular, and they had, the promoter scene had just gotten started. And one of my partners, Ezekiel Events for Good People, he started with these Wednesdays at Eden's Lounge. And Baltimore wasn't used to doing weekday parties. It was just weekends.
Yep.
He started it with that Wednesday on Eden's Lounge, and it was a crazy response. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a great blending of good food. It was a great location with the parking.
Yeah,
it was networking like crazy.
Right.
But for me, I'm not a networker, so like I'm antisocial. But if you got some good food and some good drinks, and I got a convenient place to park where I don't feel scared, you gonna get me to come out.
Right.
And that's how I ended up coming to Warm Wednesdays. I'm sorry. Continue.
And I think what happened is that he was from the Bronx, so he brought the New York culture here, where they party during the week and weekends they're off. Because it's industry. So that set the tone, and then events just started popping up. And he needs to probably do some history on that too, just like everybody else does in the industry promotions. But that started a wave, and then I got on that wave too. With seeing that, hey, look, all this comes together with, clothes, events, music. How can we capitalize off of that, And that was the big thing. Like, okay, coming from New York, growing up, going to, the Village, which was, the place to be in New York at the time, and that's where arts and culture popped up, and I had a dream of, hey, look, fashion industry. I didn't know I was going to be exactly in the clothes, but I knew I was going to be a part of a creative process, My dad was a creative. My mom was creative. She was a musician. My dad was an artist. So I was like, okay, I can do something with this, naturally. And then, I eventually moved into, some small businesses.
Come on, tell us about some of the trial and errors.
Come
on now.
The trial and error was probably, network marketing, I think, was a good business,
right.
in the 90s.
So what is network marketing specifically?
Well,
for those of us who are not into the terminology.
People who got pulled into a meeting and didn't know what it was, they were getting sold long distance service or
okay. Or what they define as the pyramid scheme.
Right. Nutra something or some gadget that you didn't know existed. Yeah, and then you had to bring other people to the meeting. That was network marketing, which is a good business for selling, I mean? Like,
and if you have a large friendship circle, or a social circle, you can really get it off. I
think everybody should do at least once. Do network marketing at least once. Yeah, I think if you, especially for people, because life is about selling, man. So they're going to teach you how to sell.
That is a
teach
fact.
You how to overcome your fear of speaking.
That is
to
all right.
people.
I definitely feel you on that. That definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how far back me and network marketing goes. I used to sell Tupperware.
Damn.
back in the 80s, stuff. I was a kid, man. They were like, yo, you can get the Tupperware salt shakers and the Tupperware
they were
sandwich containers, man.
Yeah.
That was like, that was the original stuff, man.
You know what I mean?
Like, you come, you buy for the low, you sell it, you know what I mean? Right? Oh, my God.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
You're not living until you went to a network marketing.
Yo, and look, and once you get that experience, you can kind of feel the energy when somebody trying to get at you with it. What you talking about? No, I want you to come through. I want to hang out with you. We going to talk. What are we talking about?
Right, exactly. Now I want to let you see it first. But I had a good run with it, and what ended up happening was I was making money from it, and I was like, I'm gonna quit my job. You know what I mean? I was working as a caseworker at the time, right out of school, and I ended up quit my job and doing network marketing, and the money didn't add up. You know what I mean? I was like, it was good for a
part-time, right?
You know what I mean? But I was like, yo, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I really went through, depression because I was like, yo, this is supposed to work. You know what I mean? And so my energy match, for knowing what to do with that network marketing opportunity wasn't there. So I didn't really know, even though I had training, and I probably didn't really have the hustle. Didn't know what it took, to be an entrepreneur. So in any event, that was a trial, and I wouldn't say it was error. It was just a good learning experience. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to have a plan. You really have to know what your numbers look like and how you're gonna make. Just like with a lot of these businesses out here, like, you have to know exactly how it's gonna make out for you.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So after you transition out of that, what's the next thing that inspires you to kind of want to take the leap again?
Real estate was inspiring to me. At that time I was doing I was teaching and doing case management. So I was making like a lot of money over time, and I was like, yo, I can need to take this money and do something with it. You know what I mean? Because you're spending all this money, all this time doing doubles, triples, overnights, and teaching, and I started buying properties. Yeah, so I was buying properties in Baltimore City, and not flipping them, just holding on to them. So learned from a guy named Camos, and reading, and my man Mike Brewer. We started out together, just doing a lot of research, reading, and buying properties, holding on to them, and flipped a couple. And that was, that was great,
Right.
Still serves, well to this day. And then I went into that, and it really opened my eyes to how you could raise capital, through what we know now as hard money lending.
Correct.
And getting loans on properties. And it goes back to selling. Network marketing helped me to sell and become a landlord, and it sharpened my skills in that area. So that was one of the that's still one of the the biggest additions, I think, was being able to look at a city like Baltimore and say, this city has value to it. How can you monopolize off of that?
So when you jumped into the housing market and you started purchasing properties, was this pre-financial crash? or
yeah, it was.
Okay, cool. So you was
right. So that's when you
getting
can
all
go
type
walk
of
into
deals.
right.
Oh man,
You can walk into a property, you know what I mean, for 40,000. You know what I mean, 50,000,
and they were throwing loans at you, boy.
You
had good credit, baby. Oh my God,
white people's credit,
all type of loans. Oh my God, because even people that like be with bad credit back in the day, they was still like, oh, we gonna give you an arm, but but we'll still give you the joint. Oh, we don't need all that. That's how we
crashed. It's all the bad loans like me.
Oh yeah. I made a few decisions back in the day, don't I? But God bless, man. God bless.
You know, that's how it goes.
I still feel like that was the greatest time. It was the greatest time period for black people trying to create wealth and doing that. Even they saying now is good. I don't know. It don't touch what it was back in the day.
I mean, even before I was buying it, I mean, you talking about before that wave, they were giving them houses away and what do you call it, down by the stadium, Cannon Yards. You know, dollar homes. You know,
all you had to do was renovate it within a certain time period.
Right.
So getting that money.
You just had, you know, it's opportunity waves in our city, and you just have to realize when they are. And you know, I think that was one. You know, one is probably coming up. You know, one is probably here. You know, where in every crash there's a way in which you can come up. I remember the last crash. Was 2008.
Right.
And I lost all my credit lines, you know what I mean? Like banks cut everything, you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, so a lot of people in the real estate game in my era lost. They, you know, filed bankruptcy and stuff like that. And I was fortunate. It was tough, but I was $80,000 in debt, you know.
Wow.
Unsecured. You know what I mean? Unsecured. And I didn't, you know, I was like, man, I'm going to pay this back. You know, I'm not going to file. You know what I mean? I was close to filing bankruptcy.
So what did you end up doing to get you, you know, to come from being upside down?
Well, I think the biggest thing was making sure that you know, job my job as being a educator, I was being able to raise capital from that. And I got a great opportunity. I'll tell you how it happened. I was managing properties for other owners.
Got you.
And one of the owners went under. Guy out of DC. He had a huge property on Reservoir Hill, and he was he had a 6-unit. He went under. He filed bankruptcy, and the bank took over, which is First Mayor on the bank at that time. So First Mayor on the bank saw that what I was doing with the properties. They was like, we like your management style. We want you to manage our properties for us, you know, like our apartment buildings. Yeah.
Man.
So I'm $80K in debt, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I'll manage for you, you know, jump for you, you know what I mean? And they was like, all right, cool. So after a while, they started really trusting what I was doing, and they was like, we want you to be the contractor too for these properties.
Wow.
You know, because we want to get rid of them.
Right.
You know, it's a crash. We want to get rid of these properties, and you're gonna end up, you know, having to do some renovations for us. I was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? So man, I made so much money renovating for them.
God bless, man. That's
you know what I mean? Like,
that's a crazy opportunity.
I learned contracting, how to be a contractor, and I mean they were historical properties. So
right. You have to follow certain standards and codes, right?
Yeah, but it's more money that way.
Oh yeah,
you know
definitely, because you charge more.
Oh my goodness, man. So I got out of debt, you know.
Congratulations.
So
bro.
during the down market, opportunity came up. You know what I mean? So and that, you know, that's kind of like you know what they say. Who made the most money during the gold rush? It wasn't the gold miners. It was Levi's. You know what I mean?
It was the people that supplied the supply.
Levi's still around today because they supplied, you know, it's probably the people cooking the food. You know what I mean? Not the gold miners. So
hey, if you look at Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all, a lot of them got established in World War II or World War I. You know what I mean? Creating products, whether it was containers for soldiers to put stuff in or jackets or different stuff like that. So if you look at a lot of the larger high-end boutique brands, they came out of building their companies off of wartime or famine or whatever. So yeah, you're 1,000% correct. And if you guys didn't know that, now time for you to do some fucking research.
Yeah, do some damn research.
Start clickety-clicking away, bro. When you started seeing, when you wonder why does Louis Vuitton have these big gigantic trunks?
Right. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Waterproof.
Right, and they waterproof. And they're like, why are they so good at doing certain stuff?
Right.
It's because they came out of a certain thing. So,
that's a lesson. It's just like every opportunity can be born out of, dismal times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a dismal time for a lot of people now.
Mm-hmm.
And you could really just sit with your creative side, if you could tap into it, or creative people, and see what the opportunity is. So I made a lot of money, managing for First Mariner Bank. And it goes a lesson. It goes to show you that even First Mariner Bank, they pretty much, we think that we're just the only ones out here that don't have the money, to do something.
Right.
Sometimes they didn't have the money either. You know what I mean? I would be like, yo, put windows in this unit is gonna cost you, historical windows to the standard is $80,000.
Mm-hmm.
And they would be like, what the freak? What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, they would wince. So, I do remember giving them quotes, and they was like, yo, we can't afford that. You know what I mean? This is a bank. So, we sometimes, a lot of times we think it's just us, like, yo,
Right.
No, these corporations have limitations too, and money, just doesn't flow easily out of their pockets, because a lot of times they're borrowing and swapping out funds too. We're not the only ones.
Correct.
Hustling.
Just hustling to survive.
Right. My mom used to say they beating and cheating like everybody else.
She ain't never lied.
Right.
She ain't never lied.
Yeah.
So you come out of that debt free and stronger for it because
I did eliminate majority of my I did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You come out of it stronger. You come out with a whole new skill set. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, now you've got added a whole nother business. So you super mogul out here, man. What you talking about, man?
Well, look, man.
What you talking about, man?
I think
trying to be modest.
Look, I think that that's going on in the book too. You know what I mean? Just the real estate hustle and just the experiences of managing people. You manage properties around here too.
Right.
But
I tell people, like, you should get used to dealing with property the same way y'all get used to dealing with cars. Like when you buy a car and like you're not a full-on mechanic, but you know how to do certain things. You can swap this out and do that. I said, man, everybody should have just a general knowledge of how to purchase, deal with real estate. It should never be I hate it when people act like real estate is a foreign thing. Like, I don't know nothing about it. What do you mean? I don't know how to put a window in, or I don't have to, like, bro, come on now.
Gotta do the basics.
Like, basics, bro, basics.
It makes good for, saving money, but also makes good for the ladies. They love to see guys doing repairs.
Do they? That's a fact.
That's sexy as shit. You in behind underneath that sink.
yeah. You think that when you pulling up in that pickup truck, they ain't gonna like it.
Right.
I ain't never seen a girl turn down jumping in my pickup truck to take them on a date.
Damn, really?
Never. Many a time in my life.
Secret turn on.
The dirty pickup truck. And they like, I don't care. Hey, move that stuff to the side and put the tools in the back seat. We off. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But it is what it is. We ain't gonna get in my love life. So anyway, after that, you start coming out of it. Now, is it during this time period while you're helping to
City Guys is forming? Yeah, because during the same time we I met my partner, former partner Aries. He was doing a clothing line called Compete Clothing, and some people may remember it, but it was like pretty much pre City of Guys, and he was like, "Yo, I need help doing this." I was helping him for free. He was like, "Yo, you should just be a partner." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I partnered with him, and then helped take the business to the level where we got a store. Got the store in 2009, and we got in with 4 other people. City Guys was really originally 4 different clothing lines. Yeah, it was originally 4 different clothing lines under one roof, and it was during the recession, so we were like, "Yo, we got the building for cheap,
right?
You know what I mean? And we got the rent for cheap." And then they were like, "Hey, look, we all struggling. Let's each individually do a clothing line and sell under one roof." You know what I mean? So like a co-op, cooperative capitalism. So we got under one line. 2 of the clothing lines, they were like, "Man, this is some tough business. We out here." You know what I mean? Especially during the startup for after the crash. And so me and my partner E stuck around, and I brought on another person, my current partner today, Mashari. And then, it was history from there, because he had the streets. I had some of the entertainment and Morgan crowd, and my other partner was like kind of like a design geek type dude. So we covered like all the areas. So it just, it started picking up momentum, and like I said, first inkling that we got that it was gonna be dope was that we brought in TT the artist to do a performance, a cross marketing piece.
So what made you decide to do that? Like, what was the inspiration to go, well, we're gonna bring an artist in?
I think it was more at the time it was Jason Bass, he had a clothing line. Jason Bass, he had a clothing line called I Rock Fox. He was like, yo, we need to get some artists to wear our stuff. And I think he was like, yo, we can get, some artists to come through and perform. And we was like, great idea, let's do that. She came through, TD Artist killed it, you know what I mean? And ever since then, we was like, yo, we could just do performances, you know what I mean? Because we love the artists that we're bringing in, and, we can get them to, wear our apparel, So it took off from there. And
interesting.
The love for the music was already there. We all had our favorite artists, and then we started doing concerts. So back then we was like the original multi-performance space, before a lot of other venues started using their event space for multi-purposes. We were a store and a concert place.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you have 4 different clothing lines. Now, was the title of the storefront City of Gods?
Still City of Gods, and everybody had a clothing line underneath.
So who came up with the idea of calling the storefront City of Gods?
I think we just decided to keep it simple. We were confusing everybody. It was already 4 clothing lines in there. I don't remember this particular meeting, but I just remember us saying, yo, let's drop. We had a clothing line called Zuri by Zuri. We had a clothing line called Compete Clothing, of course. And we was like, just drop this. Just do one blanket clothing line, which will give an appearance of a unified front.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's how we started it, We unified it under the term City of Gods. So, instead of having 4 different brands you had to remember, City of Gods, I think it was Antonio Carew, I Rock Fox, Compete Clothing, and Zuri by Zuri. It was like, just do one.
City of Gods.
Yeah.
And it went like, so was it because y'all saw the movie and was like, oh, it was such a great movie, let me just go ahead and call it City of Gods?
50% of the votes were like, yo, we should go with City of Gods, the movie turn, and then the other part was like me, and my other part was like, nah, it's we're godly people, like, we're talking about, us being strong, powerful, like controlling our space, you know what I mean, in our city. And that's one over. That one over. It was like, yeah, I think that's a little bit deeper than just copying a movie title.
Word.
Yeah, so
I like that.
Yeah,
I
so
like that.
Took the title, but put the S on there.
So as time is going on, and even though you have 4 different brands in there, how did it become? Was it like a natural thing that people started coming together and we started fading away from the different titles and kind of forming together under the one brand?
Initially, I think it was kind of like, just as expected, like, how did I do on my sales? How did you do on your sales? And then it wasn't exactly friction, but it was a competition. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
See,
friendly competition.
You would have like 10 people come down. He'd be like, they're coming to buy. No, we're coming to buy this one brand right here. My partner would have had one person come to buy his stuff. So, but it was never any problem with that. It's just, I think one of the things that we realized is that people couldn't get the concept, like, what is this? You know what I mean? And you come in. So if we had a marketing budget, we probably could have gotten a better understanding, like, what this is about.
Right.
4 different brands under one roof.
Right.
But, it wasn't that clear. So I think the miscommunication had people. And then one thing about people in Baltimore and my people in general, they don't go into unfamiliar territory with clothing lines. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be seen on somebody or referred. Other cities, somebody like, oh, this is nice. What is this?
Cop it, wear it.
Beehive, Beehive clothing line. I like it. I don't care what anybody says.
Right.
But here it's like you go somewhere, and you're like, what the freak is that?
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna be appreciated until you have a solid, verified brand you got on your back.
Brand recognition. What I mean? If there's not seen, like you said, if it's not seen on somebody, or if there's not somebody that they respect associated with it, then people are gonna shy away from it.
They're not gonna just pop up with any old thing.
That is a fact, and it takes time. I think it's over time too, because like I feel like Cashland's dominance has come through a long drudged out, you know what I mean? He has really stood this test of time, because I remember there was a time when people weren't as excited about Cashland, but now, like, the young kids, they're like, Cashland is it. Like, this is the brand that defines Baltimore. Right. You know what I mean? And everybody else is kind of in the shadow of that, you know what I mean? Which because I have a lot of young people around me. I die laughing when they were like, "Yo, Cashland is it," and I'm like, "For real, Cashland is it?" Right. Hey, and I'm proud of it. You know what I mean? Right. Because I remember when it wasn't that way. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I feel like you guys are starting to elevate into that space where they be like, you know, people will come to me like, "Yeah, you ain't heard of, like, you know, City of Gods," and I'm like, yeah, I have heard of City of Gods. Of course I've heard of City of Gods. Everybody's heard it. But, you know, it's that personal discovery, because they'll see so many people with it, but they feel like, you know, now that they've taken the journey to the storefront and they cop their first shirt, it's an event moment for them, you know what I mean? And that personalized it, like, this is my thing.
You know, I think everybody finds cars out their lane, and that's the important thing. It's like, hey, look, you know, the appeal has to come through natural progression, you know what I mean? And building the brand with the natural audience that was going to refer you out and speak about you when you're not there. So, you know, a lot of the brands are doing that.
So when you made the decision to be, so you didn't walk into this like, yo, I'm a designer, I've got ideas for, you were just coming and supporting somebody else's dream.
Initially, yep. I was always, you know, a person interested in fashion. So coming up in New York, you know, you had to.
You more of a dot connector than I thought you were.
Yeah. I mean, New York was rough, man. I mean, it's kind of like here, you know, my family here, you just can't wear anything. You know, I grew up in an era where I grew up with Onyx in them. You know what I mean? Like their era, their music. They were my barbers, you know what I mean? Onyx was my barbers.
Really?
Yeah, they were barbers.
I forgot that they used to cut hair.
They cut hair, man. So they used to, you know, school me on stuff like, this is where you need to go. And they were really fashion forward, man. I mean, they simplified and went into, like, you know, just boots and Timbs and, you know, army fatigues. But before they got into that era, they were just like, you used to look up to them because they would go to come back with like the latest polo on. I mean, it would be really slick, you know what I mean? So,
but I feel like they existed in a time when fashion exploded as far as urban design. So you had the Carl Kanai, you had the Pele Pele, you had the, you know, you had an establishment of so many different designers of all different types, and they were doing so many different things, from button downs to hoodies to leather jackets to, you know what I mean, like leather pants, like jeans,
they would necessarily, they were so creative that they wouldn't really necessarily rely on the labels to make them.
Right.
They were kind of like creative in a sense, like, yo, I'm gonna put you up on this.
Right.
And you be like, where'd you get that from? Like,
right.
Yo, I went down to Fifth Avenue.
Right.
You know, this is you know, a brand that you never heard about before. You know what I mean? Some white dude over in Europe. You know, you be like, yo, that is crazy. So they used to be really fashion forward.
And I also think that if they were to get a hold of an artist that was just on the cusp, you know what I mean, that might wear something for free, or I give them a set and then it ends up in a music video or it ends up in a photo shoot that's in a magazine, where like a little kid like me that sees it and goes like, what is that? That is crazy. That is enough cachet and enough forward momentum for a brand to get into like a store in Mondawmin or something like that, you know, and then that becomes a popular thing. Even like when you think about Iceberg and Cross Colors, a lot of that stuff we only knew about because of watching the music videos, you know, seeing the artists, because I used to buy every like magazine, Source magazine. I had every freaking copy. And anytime I saw somebody wearing it,
spaz out at the bookstores,
bro. Like anytime you can see something.
How much you just spent?
Who cares? I need all of this, like
the Don Diva,
the Double XL, the you know, it was Vibe magazine. Yo, Vibe was more of the fashion forward of that time period because they focused a lot on, you know, just clothing and stuff like that. So like, I can understand, like, it is a sharp difference because I don't see the brands taking as much risk, but I've always wondered, and this was one of my questions later on, but I can throw it in now, but is it you responding to the market, or is this your natural inclination to make this what you make? Meaning, do you have desires to do some crazy jacket with, you know, emeralds on it or something, or do y'all want to do big plates on his shirt or something. Like,
I think I think it does come a point where you come out of your comfort zone if you want to impress people.
right.
So whatever that is, you know what I mean, it may not necessarily be, what everybody else is doing, but I think
Right.
the breakout, everybody has a breakout product for their clothing line. Our job when we first came out was to print out, like a lot of clothing lines would just print one design and leave it, and
Right.
that would be the design. For us, we were like, yo, our job is to make sure that we have new, fresh product every week and at least 6 designs new. You know what I mean? So
That's a workload.
6 designs a week.
A week, bro?
Yeah, we had to do 6 designs a week. And our whole goal was to make it so you would come back every week, and also even still to today, I don't really want a lot of pieces out there because last thing I want is for you and somebody else to go somewhere and have the same thing on. You know what I mean? So I don't want to go to, so like I go down to Euphoria and then you're wearing the exact same color as I got. You know what I mean? So we made it limited in the sense of we knew that, if anybody bumps into each other.
Do you know how deep that is? Because I feel like y'all need to market on that more. Because if you're telling me, oh, I just bought this T-shirt and there's only 10 or 20 of these in existence ever.
Yeah.
Bro, like now it has a whole different value. It's almost like I'm wearing a piece of artwork now. Like,
we rarely run stuff back. I mean, I think we do them now more than we ever did, but we used to be like, yo, it's gone, it's done, it's over with. You ain't never gonna see this game. Like, yo, come on, bring it back. Like, nah, we're not bringing it back. It's
that's
like,
crazy.
and people to this day, like, yo, still got your shirts from like 5 years ago. So,
and you should tell them, y'all frame them joints, and keep them because they're never coming back. You know what I mean? Or even if you do bring it back years later, it's like, nah, this was the first version from this year. You know what I mean? So, that's so deep, bro. Yeah, it's almost like Polo. Like if you really kind of get into it, Polo is the same exact way. Right. Like they'll do stuff for a certain time period, or they'll do X amount of product, and then it's it, and it's done. And then you've got those people who obsessively collect those products. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a part of they've developed that whole Polo car. I saw a documentary about that. Y'all, you New York niggas is crazy. I just want y'all to know that. The shit that y'all people, obsessed of Polo, and then like how they collect it, and like it'd be like, some dude that's got 300 pieces of Polo and they're all tagged and marked from the time period, and they keep them all in plastic bags, and all of the little crazy teddy bear. I got the Polo teddy bear from 1990, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nigga, you need a life, nigga. Like, but I understand. That's that thing.
And now, you see how the resale value now is like, damn, maybe you were doing the right thing back then. You know what I mean? Because this vintage items are gonna be
word,
money. You know what I mean?
Vintage.
Yeah, vintage.
So now we gotta
collectors.
So some people walking around Baltimore with vintage City of Gods on right now.
They are, yeah. And we will probably be doing buybacks down the road. Like, yo, we're gonna put this museum up,
bro.
And I probably got about used to have 400 to 500 shirts, original shirts. Everything that came out, I collected.
You kept, okay. That's smart. That's what you should do. Yep. And you put them in vacuum seal bags.
Did not. You know what I mean? It's time.
I'm about to say, you need to go home and take care of that right now.
Right now. I disrespected my own line.
You got to make sure you keep your stuff premium, man.
Right. Yeah, but
premium.
I collected one of each, so it's like, it's archive.
So how did you develop these rules and parameters for your clothing line for it to, all right, we're only going to print a certain amount. We're only going to do this amount of designs. Doing 6 a week, like what makes you get to that space?
We had a loose, business plan that we followed that was like, hey, look, we're going to go over, designs, the concepts, the creativity part of what we do, and the direction. And, we will go over, what we wanted to accomplish with, the clothing line. And, and so when we first started out, we weren't so, involved in the business aspect of it. Like, okay, what are our projections for the end of the month? What do we want by the end of the quarter and by the end of the year? So I think now we're more focused on, hey, look, this is a business, and you got to be able to make projections for what you want to accomplish online as well as in the store, and the goals that we want to see. So that's the creative part. We did have a good lock on that. The expansion and the business part is what is the next chapter. It's like, look, you want to be able to scale.
Right.
You want to be able to scale your business.
That's deep. Yeah. That is deep. All right, so let's start talking about some of these designs. So I, on any day, I mean, because you guys post like intermittently all the time,
we do.
But you see so many different designs. I've seen a lot astronauts. I've seen a lot of animals. Like when I'm always pleasantly pleased to see when the new designs come out. Not only because there's been such an evolution in how you design, which probably comes with you circulating through different designers over time, which is given, but the choices of what actually makes it on a t-shirt is so interesting. Not only just from a person who likes to purchase the product, but from the perspective of just an artistic expression. How do you go into deciding what gets chosen? And then is there direction from the artist? Are you going to the artist saying, yo, we want to do astronauts in 2020, or we want to do lions heads, or we want to do Black Lives Matter, and this is how.
Right.
Is there a conscious effort, or are you giving people just kind of freedom, the carte blanche to kind of create on their own?
There is, what we do. I'm not a graphic designer. So typically what we do is we have my man Cash. We do designs by him, and we'll pretty much lay out like the colorways that we want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This is the colors that we want for. Or I may have I can draw a little bit, but I may have a concept say, look, I want to take this and make it into a caricature, and I want the words to be on top saying City of Gods, whatever. So I'll lay out the color palettes, so I will go and, for people who want this kit, I have a creative community that I talk to, a couple of designers are a part of it in the city, and creatives, and we talk on Instagram, and I send them, information about, trend reports. I send them trend reports,
gotcha.
Like what's coming out.
Okay.
So I share it with them, and we'll see what's coming. They already really have the colors picked out for 2022, and what people are gonna be wearing.
Really?
Yeah. So Pantone is the company that makes the color palettes, and it's another one too, but Pantone's the most popular. So they really pretty much got you what we're gonna be wearing for fall 22 already out.
Wow.
Yeah. So fashion industry is really
forward
in that way. It may alter a little bit, and the trends that make it, what they call the trends that make it to market, the people who predicted that they would make it get the most props.
Gotcha.
What I mean? So they may have 40 different types of jackets that they're predicting to come out in fall of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And we say, look, this one is gonna work. This one and this one. And if it makes it to Macy's, H&M, or Nordstrom's, then you get props because you're like, yo, I predicted that this was gonna go.
Correct.
You know what I mean, from the runway to
with the storefront.
So anyway, looking at the color palettes, give the color palettes to the designer. Say, look, this is what we want to go with. You know what I mean? It's gonna be these different types of blues. This is the hues. You know what I mean? And this is in for the season. And what you notice is that those color palettes are what the sneaker companies use too.
Mm-hmm.
So they all industry is connected.
Got you. So as you're dropping your shirts and your pants and your jackets,
you gotta go with
the sneakers are kind of naturally.
Y'all cover 10,000, 20,000, maybe $1 million ideas. So now you got to go get the color palettes for that season, and then you'll be in trend. Because what Nike does is they go to the same color companies and they say, well, what is whatever's coming out for the new Jordans has already been predicted 2 years ago. Gotcha. So that's how they're able to produce in China, and they have to be ahead.
Very true.
So the color palette for this season is what everybody's going to use.
Gotcha.
And that's why when you go in the store, you be like, oh, I can find something to match this. That's because they already have it planned out.
Planned out.
Like we're gonna flood it with burgundy.
And everything kind of, all of the burgundy comes out around the same. Okay, spring. So now the shipments come in burgundy sneakers, burgundy jackets, burgundy hats.
Burgundy drapes, housewares, same way. They all go with a color palette, and you'll be able. And it's called the. I'm gonna use some from reticular mind. So when you start seeing one thing, it'll program you. So you start seeing burgundy. Then you may get a burgundy car. You know what I mean? You may get,
I have a
roses,
burgundy car right now.
Or, to match that, for your girlfriend or whatever. So, you do have burgundy?
Yes, I do.
You probably picked it during, when'd you buy it?
A couple of months ago, probably like 6 months ago.
That's the season of color. Yeah, burgundy's in.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So,
God damn it.
They got you. They got you. Yeah, so the seasonal color for the last year and a half is like cranberries, burgundy, stuff like that. So a lot of people don't know, but you're being programmed.
I didn't know none of this. So this is all class to me, and I'm loving this. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it.
Program as we speak.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. So all right, getting deep back into it. So all right, so now we got the design process down. How do you choose? Well, is it going to be t-shirts, or is it going to be hoodies, or like pants, and then the styles of them, because the style of clothing has changed so drastically. Yeah. How do you get in it? Is there like a t-shirt palette that comes out?
We do a little bit of cut and sew. Haven't been doing that much because that takes a lot of money to do cut and sew, and it also takes a lot of you get products done pretty quick, but you definitely have to be ahead, of what you want seasonal wise. And we haven't been designing. We're not designing for spring at this point. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And I think a lot of fashion businesses kind of pull back from doing these big shows. You used to see Fall Fashion Week, Spring Fashion Week. You've heard of those before.
Right.
Now people are just releasing at will. You know what I mean? Like, I think Supreme does that.
Right.
We're doing 2 collections. They don't have nothing to do with the seasons per se. I don't know, but
one of my favorite brands, Pink Dolphin, they do a capsule like every 30 days.
Yeah, you're right.
So it'll be like
it's changing everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think majorly because they exist mostly online.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That they like, all right, we got to keep people interested. Just like the rappers. It's like, we got to continue to drop more product to keep people coming back to the site. Because if they're not coming back to the site, then we're losing money.
Yeah. So, I mean, we do a lot of print, probably with 3 weeks of notice most, you know what I mean? So we'll create today and make it printed, by Halloween. So we're not that, we try to stay as close to what the trends are as possible, because we're not doing cut and sew, so we don't have to have a lot of lead time. So, whatever is going on right now reflects. Well, we could do it. We can put it out in 3 weeks. You know what I mean? So if it's we try to have a lot of fun with real topics. Like with COVID and Corona. We'll try to put a spin on it to make a little make it a little funny. And like we got a T-shirt called No Vax, like no vaccine, and like certain things that we believe in. We are put in concepts with making it fun to wear, and we also include like our personalities and some of the things like you said the events and the fun that we like to have, but also we have a serious side where we're giving back and we explore Black empowerment. So we try to cover what the people need and what they want to see. I think a lot of people come to us for like they want to see us talk to them through those channels, you know what I mean?
Got you. So how does City of God market themselves to the public? You know what I mean? What are your major, outside of obviously performances? So how do you guys reach out to the public so that they can experience the product or experience the brand? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think word of mouth is great, know, and a lot of people don't want to do the marketing where you're paying for for airtime and going on to the traditional advertising. Now I think a lot of it wants to be organic, where people spread the word for you and you don't have to do a lot of spreading. where you get people to wear your clothes naturally. I don't like forcing people like, yo, wear this. You about to be on stage. Like, nah, I want you to like it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you are doing something that's gonna get media attention, generally like the product, you know what I mean? And we're not paying you to put it on, anything of that nature. It's like, look, this is what I want to do. So right now it's organic. I think eventually you definitely have to dove into a big marketing budget where you're like, okay, well, we're gonna go into budgets for different media. You know what I mean? So it'd be social media. You want to go into um, click advertisement, YouTube. So we're working up to whatever I think. One guy, my mentor, told me, he was like, whatever it is, you got to have a marketing budget. If you putting $200 out in product, for a candle business, you got to have $10 the budget for marketing. So everything has to have a marketing budget attached to it.
Right.
So whether it's a giveaway factor or whatever you can get more bang for your buck. Because a lot of people are like, yo, I wanna put it in this area, or some people may want to market for you. Like, well, look, man, I only got this much. I really gotta get the most bang for my dollar. So you gotta make sure you put it in the right
spaces.
Yeah, right spaces. I kind of like organic. To answer your question, I like doing shows. I like having the product in the hands of people who are gonna spread it organically.
Got you.
That's what I like.
Yeah. All right. And so when you see the development of the relationship between your brand and, like you spoke on Red Bull earlier, we didn't get into Under Armour or anything like that. Like these natural kind of, well, I guess the question is, were these natural collaborations, or did they seek you out? Or did
a lot of times they seek you out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People come to you, be like, "Yo, I see what you're doing." Most of the relationships I had, people, sought us out. Sought the brand out. So they were like, "Look, we want to partner up with you." Same thing with Under Armour. They came to us. And we've been working with them for like since 2017 on projects.
Mm-hmm.
Red Bull, same thing. That's one of our biggest supporters. And we support what they do. Detail Law, we talked about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They're a big supporter of ours.
Because your product was in some of the stores.
One time I was at Detail Law, and it's TDR can be good for exposure, not so good for money margins unless you're selling around the country.
Right.
They have 200 something stores, so I think it's good if you have a great product. You could get it into their stores around the country, which we did, and sometimes they'd be like, yo, where do you want it? What do you think you're going to do good at? And you'd be like, oh, okay. So that's a good look. You just have to make sure that, I think, whoever your partners are, that, it's organically, and you're not forcing it, you know what I mean? It's an organic look.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So, people want to see a natural merge, you know what I mean? And just like, if you're trying to force it into, markets that you may have an opportunity to get into a market, but it may not look natural.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be a good look.
Okay. That's deep.
Yeah.
So in your in the store's success, what are some of the sub brands or like major things that have become the norm in the City of God's world? So like say, you guys just had a big block party or an event.
Every year we usually do an anniversary block party. Yeah. So can't do this year. I'm sorry for all the people
for COVID.
Used to come down to the block parties. This year's not happening.
But didn't it have a name? Like didn't
the best block party ever?
The best. Yeah. So you had the best block party ever. I think you do an event that has nothing to do with City of Gods, which is like the silent parties and stuff like that.
Silent parties is the silent party is taking on a life of its own. So even though City Guys is a part of it, we pretty much want to have it where it has its own brand. You know what I mean?
Right,
because so many brands involved in that.
Right.
That one can't just really take credit. I mean, it is Jones House Entertainment, Events for Good People, and City of Gods, but there's so many other moving parts in that we just want to probably just leave it as the silent parties. I think, and that would probably put us in a situation where we could, not have so much responsibility. Like, oh well, we want to edge ourselves out to shine. You know what I mean? Like, okay, nah, you put your ego aside. We're just gonna do,
you just work as a team.
Party, right?
Right. So, do your live concerts have a name? Like, so is it like a concert series that?
Well, they will. They will.
Okay.
We're gonna do some more live concerts. We haven't done any this year because of the shutdown. I think we did one. We did some rap battles at the beginning of the year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What?
We always do.
I can see rap battles because MCs will be there and then stuff takes off. Like, because you guys are just an artist destination. People, and I've been there 1,000 times when I'm just there, and then arguments pop off, not in a negative way, but debates pop off, and then discussions and artists, and then next thing you know, you got a whole cipher going on.
Yeah, the rap battles I love them, man. You know what I mean? So
that's just something that you guys are cultivating on your own, unless you're using the rap battle league.
It's one of our partners with the league. You know what I mean? So they end up coming in once every 3 months or so. They do the rap battle. So
shout out to Shaka Pitts.
Yeah. Yep. So it's that is really good. And then we know we got Respect the DJ. That's one of our. We haven't done it in probably about a year and a half. The last time we did it was during the $2 million tournament that was here in Baltimore. We did a Respect the DJ. We're gonna bring that back. And
the one where you go around and you take people to other businesses and then you
Scooter Meetup. Because of COVID, we didn't run with that this year, but it was sponsored by Lime and who else? Who helped us out with that one last year? Lime and the Uber. Spin helped us out.
Gotcha.
So we and shout out to Alexis helped out with that project. She's a realist. We went around and actually went to black businesses. So we visited 5 black businesses, and you had to spend at least $20 each.
Gotcha.
So we got a group of people. So we did the scooters with a purpose. So I missed that. You know what I mean?
I love that. I thought that was the most unique and dope idea ever, man. Like when you sent me that joint, I'm like, yo, this thing is on another level, yeah. There are times when you send me stuff where I'll be like, bro, this is such an ingenious idea, and I thought that was just such a natural call to action because the space had been demanding. Us as business people, we see that there are different issues. I think it was such a great way to address a necessary issue. Right. You know what I mean? Us being able to, number one, raise awareness of black businesses. Number two, not only raising awareness, but putting people in the space of getting used to spending money with black people.
Right.
All right, let's just come out and then making it an event thing. So now...
And you gotta spend. Like, you come out, you gotta put your dollars out. You know what I mean? Like, we're not just riding out, to each... And we did that, and I think we saw that during COVID, when people were like, yo, these are the list of black businesses. I think, a lot of people put in the product, the Flywire magazine, Marcy, she definitely put it together. All these black businesses, we could just look at them and go, know where to go.
Right.
And that's what it's about, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, look, we got to empower ourselves because at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not saying, I think all black businesses are not all equally worthy of support. Because I don't know if you fucking taking that money and going blowing it on strippers or not. I mean, that's your thing. The
strippers need love too.
Strippers need love. But, that as opposed to a business that's basically saying, look, I'm going to be...
I'm trying to build.
I'm trying to build, right. And I'm trying to support the community. I'm going to give back, you know what I mean? That's you just blowing the bag on something that, could potentially, just create more flash for yourself.
Right.
So I think, it's important to support black businesses that are definitely have mission statements that revolve around building black wealth. Right.
Because I feel like once you do that, then they're going to take the lead and do something else that's going to continue to build. And we have to be about continuing to circulate the black dollar in the community and supporting each other and building. So that way we can be powerhouses that can support and bring up new powerhouses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're providing opportunity for different people and this person and that you guys are all getting money, y'all are going to continue to reinvest.
Yeah, so it's a lot. And then we're doing gaming now. So City of Guys is partnered up with Anonymous Games. And Unanimous Games is our strong partner. And Unanimous Games is a subsidiary, came out of Rock Nation. It's a company owned by.
So when you say gaming,
we are doing gaming tournaments.
So
we do gaming tournaments.
Like video games?
Video games, yeah. So
get the freak out of here.
PlayStation, Xbox, Madden, 2K.
Okay. So you gonna be doing it in the store?
We're gonna do some. Funny thing is, we used to do video games 10 years ago. And it's in the shop.
Wow.
Yeah, we used to do tournaments in the shop. My man Thurman, he's my partner now. And strong partner, the City Guys for a number of years. Then we faded away from it. Now we're back, So we're partnered with Matt Gaming, Unanimous Games, and Morgan State. Morgan State is one of our partners too, and Red Bull.
Oh, how do y'all have space for all of that, man? That's
look. It's like most of the game is going to take place at our partner's Matt Gaming, 229 Park place, and I think he's probably found a new location, but that's our gaming center already. So, and we did something. We did a gaming camp. So we did 10 kids gaming for ages, I think it was 13 to 18. We taught them gaming, tech, and coding.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's big, bro.
Yeah. So it was beautiful, man.
You're trying to cultivate your own team of app developers to launch City of God's video game. I see your plan.
There's some kids in here. I mean, really, the people that we need to solve our issues are right here in the city. We just got to give them a platform. You know what I mean? So these kids are sharp, man. We're talking about that's how these companies do it, man. They'll put out like, I need you to solve this chemical problem. We're having a problem with this plastic freaking mold for our new shoes. Whoever can solve it gets $50,000.
$50,000, right?
Shit, we need to do that for the crime here. Like, whoever can solve like how we're gonna, solve crime in the city. Is it everybody get a nest? And I mean, not a nest. What's that? What's in front of the house? The camera.
The camera?
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about a ring?
Yeah. Everybody. That shit would be crazy. Like, we're giving out. We're giving out, 40,000 rings.
There's too many hippie weed smokers that are like, no more cameras! No more cameras!
I was walking by yesterday, a block over in Reservoir Hill, and I was like, counting how many people had rings, and it was like a lot. I mean, you could really catch people block by block if some shit happened.
Yeah, definitely. Because I want my Amazon package to be right down the porch where I go to leave it, right? That's why I got my,
It's crazy. So, I mean, not to have a breeding ground of snitches, because I'm not 100% with people who are telling on their people in order to get incentives to stay out of trouble. But I am with making the city safer and coming up with solutions. So going back to that, the minds are right here to make it happen.
Yeah, and I feel like we should be the solution to our own problems versus trying to reach out to somebody else to try to solve the problems for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so once we've gotten to this place, this is an odd journey we've taken. And this conversation has been all over the place. Yeah, however, I love it because you dropped so many, like jewels, man. It's so important. My next biggest and almost my last question is, where is City of God's going from here? Like, what is the overall vision for what you want?
It's exciting. It's like we are looking at, partnerships with, we're still going to be partnering with companies, you know what I mean? One of our, Under Armour is one of our strongest partners. Nike was our partner for, we helped them with, developing the bike, Air Force One, first bike Air Force One. And we're going to keep doing partnerships like that, and we're going to branch out outside of Baltimore with, the experience and the people supporting us and empowering our brand. We're going to keep moving in that direction of bringing bigger partnerships and really doing bigger events. You know what I mean? The events are going to be on a bigger level. We're going to bring much bigger artists, do bigger budgets for things like you talked about, the scooter meetup. We're going to do Respect the DJ Big. We're going to do the releases are going to be bigger. So,
Aries Lounge Live podcast. Crazy stuff like that.
Right. Oh, yeah. It'll be big, this is a collaboration, Under Armour and City Guys, hoodie. And
that's fire. We're
going to, we got a big project coming out with them by the end of the year. It's going to be a series with them that COG is going to be doing with Under Armour. releasing some major content, and we're gonna be doing some major work with some local artists. You know, they're coming out with some projects, and we're always looking for new up and coming artists that want to partner us with us. You know, we're with that. But the biggest thing is really just making a pathway, trailblazing something to inspire. Because at the end of the day, it's like I supported you I empowered you. I like using the word empower instead of support. Support sounds like life support. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to be on life support. Empower you, right? I empowered you for 10 years. What did you do? You know what I mean? Right. So I want to bring home the Emmy. I want to bring home the Oscar for the people who, like yourself, who bigged us up for years. Like, yo, this is what we did for you. You know, you brought us this part. You were the wind beneath our wings. Start singing that song. You have
crying. I was like, oh, Lord.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's what Scooter almost did for us. You know what I mean? And a couple other artists before they got our artists was smashed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like right before they got to that point, something happened. So we want to do the same thing. Want to bring back that feeling like, yo, you helped us get to this point. We want to show you.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Those two, we really had in our heart feeling like those two people were going to be the end all be all for us. But as I see in this new time period, it's just it's everybody working together, because you seeing the success of Moose, Tay, Tech, Scola. But all of them together,
Shorty, yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Detronada,
mm-hmm, yeah.
These people are generating millions of streams, you know what I mean? We have now a community of highly successful artists who live off of their creations. Like, they generate their income off of it. They don't need a day job. They smoke weed all day, they have fun, and they create music that we all, that becomes a part of our lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love that. I love that, because with the collective of them working together, if one falls, they
need an R&B artist, Come on, man. We got. I love R&B. Like, I'm an R&B fan.
I know
new R&B. I like the old stuff.
That's a fact.
I love hip hop.
Well, I can tell you a bunch of them. They haven't made it yet, but they King Midas and Josh Lay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Tia's out there working. Tia Reed. You know what I'm saying? And there are a number of others. You know what I'm saying? Who else, man? There's a bunch of dudes. T. Xander. There's a bunch of really dope R&B artists that are from the city. And some beautiful young women. Yo, I found a Hispanic young lady from Baltimore who does like this pop music. Phenomenal.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
You know what I mean? There's a white girl named Jessie. She's dope as hell. Like, on some straight R&B. Like, straight up R&B. Like, it's just, they're all in their developmental stages. They're all in different phases of taking their music to another place and getting their, increasing their audience.
Right.
And that's where it becomes our responsibility and creating the platform big enough to help launch.
And that's what we do. We've done over 250, I think it was 260 shows, and just just having everybody from ASAP Ant to like you said, Scooter Scooter never performed at the place, but always came by to support. Just having a platform for people to express themselves. That's what we want to do. We want to say, look, this is where you can come, get your first start, and we'll have a audience that will support.
Zeep is now signed to Universal. Man, just dropped the album, man. Dope. Yeah. Butch Dawson. Dawson doing big things, man. I'm sitting here, these names are still popping in my head, but these are the homies.
Butch always, Butch performed in the shop, you know what I mean? So,
great guys, man. Like, creating, and they're all making completely different music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're all are generating massive amounts of attention.
Yeah.
And you play a part of that, man. The history of City of God is deep and rich.
I love it. I love being a part. I think it is tough. It's a tough business. To make your retail is tough because of the fact the margins not that high. You know what I mean? It's like, look, you gotta, one time I went in the cash long time years ago, and I was talking to the brother in there. He was working for John Cash at the time. He was like, man, He's like, this is just t-shirts, man. It's just t-shirts. You know what I mean? He was just like, yo, and basically telling me, unless you want to take it you got to take it to the next level. You know what I mean? Like, clothes are great, but what expansion can you do to get yourself out here so millions of people, just like we talk about the streams, are buying your product, you know what I mean? Not just a couple of people.
Right.
So that's the big play, it's just like getting out here, making sure you got a solid base that are gonna move with you. And come to your concerts, buy merch, buy your book, listen to you lecture somewhere, and come out to an event.
Word. I always tell people, well, not always, but when I'm speaking to business people or artists, and a lesson that I was taught a long time ago when I was in the poetry scene from my homeboy named Buck Naked. If y'all know, he used to do poetry or whatever. Kennedy Hudson, that's his real name. He was one of my teachers in high school. He ended up being like a mentor when I graduated high school.
Where'd you go to high school?
St. Francis Academy down on Chase Street.
Okay. Yeah,
so when I came out, I remember him and my dad and other people telling me like, yo, when you're an independent businessman, every dollar has to count for three. Meaning that if you going to do something, it needs to serve three purposes all at once. So if you going to do a t-shirt, the t-shirt needs to be something dope that somebody can wear, but it also needs to be an advertisement.
Yeah.
It also needs to be a revenue stream. It needs to be all of those things at once. Yeah. So if you do marketing, the marketing's got to sell a product. It should communicate what the brand is about. And it should also, inevitably, if you can make it, flip the marketing to make money for you. So we all have to find. I feel like you have to learn how to know the difference between being like a militia versus an army. You know what I'm saying? Big corporations are armies. They move completely different than small militias. Like, you know what I mean? If you were doing stuff as an independent, you just gotta learn a whole different set of skills. And the crazy part is, the more you grow, the more you shed those old skills and develop the new skills, because what works as a small organization doesn't work as a big organization.
And a lot of times they'll say, move like a corporation, but think as an independent.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So if you keep that same ambition that P. Diddy said, make each album that you're doing like it's your first project. You'll never lose the killer, the hunt or the kill.
Right. The hunger and the kill.
Yeah. So thank you for that. No problem. So I think that's it. You can move like a big dude, a big guy, but also keep in mind, like a Starbucks,
right.
That cup with your name on it is key. It's personalizing, you know what I mean? As opposed to, that's one of, I think the more stores than McDonald's probably, but, anyway, that's how they move. And I think that's how we gotta move, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, look, I always say this, and it's on one of my quotes, move around the world, but, make sure you take care of the hood first, you know what I mean? And it put a bit of a taste in my mouth with Nipsey getting killed in the hood, but as we strengthen our ability to protect those valuable assets like a Nipsey and other people in the community, then and then we'll know the penalty, just like they made an example out of Dirty Cuz is his name, right? If he is guilty of it, that he's made an example of, like, you kill somebody important, you're gonna need protection, right? So I think if we have that in place, then we could still take care of the hood, still go global, and these people who are getting these butch and all of them can come back here safely, and not fear that somebody's gonna chop them down.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I mean, but also I feel like it's important for people that all right, so people look at you as a man of value. When you show that these other people are valuable, it changes how people perceive them.
Yeah.
So it becomes incumbent upon us to see the value in those other individuals and then treat them as such. You know what I mean? Like, that is so important. As I try to tell people, like, one important thing about being a media platform is learning how to give people their props early and on time.
Yeah.
So that as they are rising, we are identifying and stamping. so that they can move forward and people go, okay, this is somebody real, or we need to deal with them. So that the other brands, the bigger companies can go, oh, we might need a model, or we might need this, we might need okay, so where can we go? Oh, City of Gods, oh, damn, I just seen these guys perform on the stage in City. Okay, we need to deal with them. All right. Right. The City of Gods co-signs them, then they must be real.
Yeah.
They must be relevant. They must be important.
And that's important now, more than ever. I mean, what you talk about the Black Lives Movement, and, everybody doesn't agree with that terminology for it, but whatever the revolution is coming up out of America, we got to capitalize off of that and take the momentum and shift it to what you're just talking about. Like, yo, look, now's the time for economic empowerment. It's time for empower one another, and we're gonna stamp our own leaders. We're gonna stamp our influencers. We're gonna stamp our artists and musicians and our business leaders. And we're gonna put them in front of people if they're worthy. You know what I mean? Like what you got going on is, the podcast is worthy of being stamped and saying, look, this is my 100th podcast. Like I need, people to recognize that and honor me for that. You know what I mean?
Right. And even more.
What number you at? Yeah, hundreds. Yeah, damn.
I've been doing radio for 15 years. Come next year.
So look, like, this is incredible. Like the content that you got, that's gold.
Greatly appreciated. And like you, I held on to 99.9% of all of my stuff. So I still have almost every episode I ever recorded. I have a copy of it.
Damn.
For everybody listens to it. I literally and
he got facts. He was like, oh, you said that back.
Go back to 2007 on my first episode.
Who's your editor? Me. I need to go back to episode say something totally different right now.
Boy, I've changed opinions so many times. What you talking about, man?
Damn,
I was in my 20s. I'm 41 now. I was in my 20s when I started this. So, just imagine how much. And that's the crazy part. I sit back and think.
So before it was podcast, it was a show.
It was just radio. Oh. It was just live radio. It's just I recorded every episode because that was. I don't know. I just was like I needed to record everything.
Any recordings you have that became crazy predictions? Anybody said something crazy and it really came true?
Let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, if you were to go back and listen to what I was playing on the radio show in 2007, guess who it was? It was Nipsey. It was Currency.
Oh my goodness.
Khalifa. It was
Joey Badass.
French Montana. It was Joey Badass. Well, actually, I predated Joey Badass even rapping. So, but I'm talking about even back in those days, like the people that are prominent people now are people that Freddie Gibbs.
Right.
I was playing Freddie Gibbs in 2007, back when he was messing with Jeezy. So, I made a ton of predictions. You know what I'm saying? Even me interviewing some of my first interviews. My first interview was Adina Howard. My second interview was Yellow Wolf. And he's in a whole different world right now. Mully Man back when he was popping, Paula Campbell back when she was popping, Boss Man, you know what I'm saying? Like I did, those were that was my first group of interviews. It's a blessing to be able to sit back and I go back and I listen to some of those episodes as I'm doing editing and putting new stuff up, and I'm like, dog, I can't believe it. Oh my God. I was playing these people back in the day when they were just internet.
Futurist.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you're tapped in, like I tell people, man, like if you have a love for it and you get tapped in, like people may not.
You still got that gift? You still this guy's gonna make it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I get goosebumps. I literally get goosebumps. Like if I'm
hear something.
Yeah, if I hear something, I'll get goosebumps. Or if I meet somebody, their first impression.
So who you excited about right now?
There's a dude named Larry June that's doing stuff with Currency. I love him. He's on the West Coast. I get goosebumps listening to.
I need that list.
Which one call it from the West? I'm really banging.
Here, baby.
But PB Longway, I've always been a huge fan of him. I feel like people still haven't really caught on to his genius yet. You know what I mean? And he's an insane. He's a psychopath, but he's a genius in his own right. But there's a ton of different artists. You know what I mean? There's an artist from out of Houston named Ellie $, LES. dig into his catalog. Bro.
Okay, all right.
Phenomenal
I want the list.
music.
Send me the list.
I definitely do that. I'll do that just for you. I really haven't done it for a lot of people, but like if it's the homies or like it's crazy because if I take a girl out to dinner or something, we're in the car. I
need something to listen to when I'm working out. When I'm running.
And like, who the fuck is this?
I'm tired of like, you know, Spotify does suggest, and you're like, this is not.
Yeah, but it's not close to sometimes you need somebody to plug you in. And I like the thing I'm most proud about is I've cultivated a playlist of Baltimore like records. You know what I'm saying? And I love that, man. It's got about 200 or 300 songs on there. And I constantly update it as new dope records come out. Oh, this is dope. Let me put it on the list. And it's R&B and it's hip hop. So like, and I love it because I listen to it personally, but I also...
I just feel the goosebumps when I hear artists from here, and I didn't know they were here. First, I want to listen to them, and I get the goosebumps. I'm like, yo, that person's from here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Dumb excited. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Miss Cam. Like, when I first seen Miss Cam do a freestyle on the internet, I was like, who is she? Like, she's fire. And then, like, she just did something with the young lady named Zadia. And Zadia just dropped a project, which I was very critical of, and I'm quite sure they're going to hate me for, like, whatever. But
you don't hold your tongue.
No, I don't. Never have, never will.
But I feel like, and I'll tell you the reason why. When I used to be an artist, it was always hard to find somebody that would just give me genuine feedback. Like when I ask a person how do you like the album? I'm not asking you to kiss my ass. I'm asking you to tell me what's good and what's bad so I can make improvements. If I don't know what's fucked up, how can I improve it? If everybody go, you lit, and then you put it down and you never listen to it again, it's like, how does it even work? So I know there are a lot of people that, believe me, a lot of people have blocked me. I've been cursed out multiple times, but I feel like these people don't really understand what my intentions are, you know, and I feel like they don't listen because I'll say 15 times, I love you, I think you're great, I think you're doing a great job. However, this isn't good, that isn't good, this isn't good. But I still think you are dope and you should keep creating music.
Frazier, your t-shirts have smudges on them. Like, yo, go
You know what?
I love you, man. But this is not accurate.
You don't remember, but you and I've had multiple moments where I'll be like, yo, why your website up? I'm just the type of person that's that way. Right. Yo, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. And you're like, why the fuck this fat nigga in my face saying stupid shit?
I need, and I think that's right. You know, you talking about, man, it's tough. It's tough because you're an artist. You know, it's
you sensitive about your shit.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you got to put in 6 months to it or whatever. It's like you got to have a mindset of being ready to accept that.
You have to be, and when you're in business, you want people that are going to pick shit apart in 6 seconds for your 6 months of work so that you can go back and fix it. Right. So that way, when it comes out, there's nothing but excitement and people buying it. And I'm telling people, I tell these people out there, there's nothing more than getting it right.
Yeah.
And you selling it. And it's, you post it online to get the link and they bing, 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 bing. Versus you post it online and you got to post it to 16,000 people and you might get one blip, on the situation. Like, when it's going right and you done your job the right way.
People are putting out, I think it would be easier if you got a criticism and I'm putting out content every week, then I probably could make some adjustments. Mm-hmm. But when you putting out every 6 months or every year, then that probably makes it tough. Like,
that is true. Okay, that makes sense.
Pivot the adjustment, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he said my production would suck, you know what I mean? JS said it was horrible, you know what I mean? And I gotta. I'm not gonna put out another project until next summer. For me to hear the corrections. But if I'm putting out a mixtape regularly, you may hear those improvements. So that's the only thing.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I've tried to, because I used to be way worse 6-7 years ago. Like, we used to literally get drunk and smoke cigarettes and just talk. So it might be 30 minutes of us just going ham on some comedy shit. Now after having like serious kind of like interactions with people that were very emotional and emotionally charged, of course initially the thing is I'm gonna run up on you.
He went away from his Whitney Williams platform, yo.
Yeah, like niggas run up on you and then they like, oh, you a 300-pound nigga. Like, no, I'm a whole nigga out here. Like, we could do this if you want to, but right. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, but I do want to be inspiring. I do want to be critical. I want to try to be the person that I never was. That I never had when I was trying to be an artist. Yeah. So it's just like, yo, let me be the platform that'll at least talk to you, number one. Number two, let me tell you.
I always do the sandwich approach.
Oh yeah, you start with love, you end with love. I didn't learn that until 5 years later. But even if you do that, I like
that you're breathing, and I'm
telling you, I have so many examples. There's this one female artist from Baltimore. She is. I love you to death. I'm not gonna mention your name because I don't want you to be embarrassed, and I'm not trying to kick up no dust. But I remember starting the review. We all three of us, yo, you are so beautiful. Yo, you such a dope MC. Oh my God, yo, you're the greatest. And this song is great, and that song is great. And then we did like maybe 2 minutes of, all right, the mix is a little jacked up. And like, why did you use these beats? And all right, you made a little mistake here, but yo, the rest of the album, and I think we gave her like 3.5, like 4 mics. She went fucking ape shit online. Like, she found my Instagram. Fuck your
sandwich.
And she put the right. That's exactly what it was. Yo, I'm gonna kill you when I see you. I'm gonna gun you down. It was like a whole 2 paragraphs of like the most insane.
The lesson is in that people focus on the good. She did not do that shit.
I ended up seeing her face to face, and she tried to like bring the camera out. She tried to create a moment out of it, and I was just like, bro, I'm not gonna give you the moment. You know what I mean, that you want. I'm like, I'm not going to get upset. Like, you're going to be upset. You fine. But I was like, yo, I said, play the review. I said, let's listen to the first 5 minutes. I said, yo, listen to the first 2 minutes and hear us giving you so much praise. I don't want to play it. You just talk shit about me. I said, you don't want to play it because you know I'm right.
Right.
I said, like if you want to curse me out on camera and you want to show people that I ain't shit and that you better than me, then like at least give me the satisfaction of playing what you're accusing me of. If you're saying that I'm destroying you, then let me listen to it. Like, press play. Because I know what I said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, yo, let's listen to it. I'm like, yo, I said, at the end of the day, yo, I'm being critical. Like, I don't know you personally. I ain't never met you before. I just saw your mixtape online, and I was like, yo, this is somebody's from Baltimore. Let me show them support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like, at the end of the day, just the simple fact that somebody take the time to listen to it 2-3 times and have a discussion about it in a recorded fashion, you should be honored by it. Like, you know what I mean? Anybody that takes the time without you asking to do it, yo, respect it. Yeah. Let it ride.
I think what happens is you probably have to do a prerequisite for people of how the breakdown of critiques are.
I got to do the lawyer. Okay, this recording in no way reflects any kind of negative things. This is nothing personal between you and I. However, I'm just giving my opinion.
This is how. This is the breakdown of. This
That's
is my mythology.
Smart. Right.
Yeah, this is my mythology behind it, so they don't think it's malice. Right. And you're still gonna get people like fuck
they
you
still
anyway.
Gonna be mad.
But you at least say, yo, look, you know, in my history, this is how, you know, I like to critique music, you know, and this is what it means, you know.
Right. Well, how did this turn into me talk about mine? This is all about you, bro.
Hey, look, I like hearing about, you know, how Baltimore art scene is coming up and around the world. So I'm really interested in that.
And I feel like that inevitably is what makes your platform, your brand so special. Is because there's so much care for the community. And for the art scene, you guys have literally interwoven all of that into the creativity and the building of the brand and how you guys interact. Like when I first met y'all had a bottle of Hennessy, y'all had some cups and this out front of the store.
Still going on.
And they having the healthy debate. Right. There's always the discussion, the debate. You know what I mean? I remember you guys had one of Street Smart magazine join in, and y'all sitting here arguing about something that's in the magazine, and I'm in there like, oh, I know, I know him. Like I know the magazine.
Yeah,
like
biggest arguers come down the store, the Staggone City God's Philly, and
I think the first time I saw the physical location, I was going to remember Amore.
Yep.
I love the Moore, man. That's the only little hangout spot that I love to hang out in, bro.
Good food, good company. I mean, it was packed in there, man.
Packed to the gills, man. Yeah. Like, and you guys were the tandem, like, so it would be like, get the clothing from here, hang out, get your drinks there, and it was just so much going on, man.
Looking for a new neighbor. They moved out during COVID. The old
the little Hispanic spot.
It actually was a black-owned spot.
Again, somebody else came back and snatched it up.
So we're looking for a new neighbor. But the block is lit now. I mean. We
That's
got
good.
Outdoor stage, you know, the market is renovated. You know, our store is renovated. We got Jay Cuts Me right next door. So and we got England Eatery, we got down the street, Rio. We got a Juice Lab, which is a juice shop.
Really?
All black owned.
Oh, I might have to come down there and kick it with y'all, man. I love
got a
juice,
bar on the
juice
block
bar.
now, an outdoor bar.
Okay. Look at what City of Gods is doing for your city. Huh?
It's a nice little piece, man.
That's
nice.
Y'all are really holding that block up.
When we first got
man.
in there, it was like a Wild West, man.
It was
like
the trap.
Tumbleweeds.
It was the trap for real.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? But y'all were
like, hold this for me, hold my work. Yo, bro.
I'm selling t-shirts
right.
here, bro. So all right.
I understand. All right.
So where can people find your brand so they can follow?
We're gonna be online before Black Friday. Black Friday's gonna look a little different this year, right? So, and you can find us down at 1118 Holland Street, Baltimore, Maryland 21223. We will ship out. Website will be up by that time, and you could hit us at a City of Gods at Instagram or at City of Gods with just S on the end. That's my partner, Mashari. And we'll have items. Usually new items come out on Friday, and some of them sell out pretty quick. So whatever it is, we only make a limited amount.
I was about to say with limited quantities of specific amount. Yeah. They go fast. That's what's up. And one last question: are you gonna have Fat Boy sizes 2021, or am I gonna have to do a campaign?
Look, when we look at all these people are coming in small now. We bought like ton of 3Xs. Ton of 4Xs.
All you had to do is send me a DM, bro.
Look,
hey, I got left up. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. This is a rule.
People got small over COVID. It's ridiculous.
Fuck that. I know niggas that didn't gain weight over COVID. Me being one of them.
I don't know what. It's two people.
Right.
Some people got skinny as shit. Other people got big. But we had. I counted 2 weeks ago. We had 50 T-shirts left over from all of our designs since we opened back up of large sizes, and I was like, we got to stop ordering the large sizes. So you let me know.
You put it out there.
Right.
Put it out there. Like when you say, hey, I got some Fat Boy sizes, come get them. Because if you telling me you got 3Xs just sitting there, let me know, bro. Let me know. Because
I should have bought something down, man.
Right. Hey, bro.
I didn't stop at the shop. So
like I ain't trying to be no dick. I ain't want to be like, yo, bring some T-shirts over here.
Yeah, I gotta.
But yeah, like I don't mind supporting. But my thing is, just carry my size. It's like I hate it when people like, yo, support me, and then I'm like, all you got is a 1X or a 2X, bro. I can't even get this on my titties, bro. Like, give me something I can actually wear. So, when you got the 3Xs, just let me know, bro. Even if you saying I got some coming up, I'll just send you the money ahead of time.
I got a hell of 3Xs.
Let's go. I'm about to have a shopping spree going on out there.
Yeah, all my big lovers out there.
Hey,
we got stuff for you for sure.
I need y'all to go buy all of them 3Xs because I don't want to hear this shit about I can't buy the 3Xs and the 4Xs. Nah, we got to support that, bro. Because it's so important that you kind of, it's hard enough that we live with the fact that we big as hell.
Yeah.
It just makes it even harder and more disheartening when we're trying to shop and we're trying to support the people we love. I got a beef with a homie of mine because he's got a very successful clothing brand, but he will not stock a 4X or 3X or nothing. And we got into a head button thing where I just don't even fuck with him no more. I'm like, you know what? Nah. How many times I asked you to do something and you just give me problems?
Yeah,
so I'm out of here.
We saw our demographic change in sizes, man.
You started dealing with young little kid rappers.
Yeah, these young kids coming through buying all these damn smalls and mediums.
Yeah.
So
and hot girls, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got hot girls wearing
hot girls will come by and scoop up
the products, man. Because y'all got colors. Girls love colors.
Girls love colors.
Y'all got them damn colors.
Slogans and colors. They love them.
That's a fact. So y'all get ready for the holidays. The guards are taking over for the holidays.
Yeah, guards will be in your sites very soon.
That's gonna be big, man.
And we got a lot of different crazy projects coming up, so you gotta look out for those.
Should we expect
concerts? We're gonna do some concerts, mini concerts.
I was about to say, is there gonna be like a rollout party for the
31st? We're having a silent party. It's gonna be at a vineyard.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Out Sparks, Maryland.
Okay.
So right above Hunt Valley. And that's gonna be like a mixed event. So it's gonna be white, black, folks, multicultural.
Gotcha.
So it's gonna be a silent party on, I think it's Halloween, right?
Yeah, yep. I owe you at least one silent party. I know that only because you stay sending me information. I just don't like parties. I'm not a party person.
I know.
But I'm gonna come
party
out there.
allows you to be the introvert that you want to be. Yeah, you go off with two people and go.
Yeah, I just sit in the corner, talk shit.
Right.
And I want to eat. I want to drink a little something, and then I'll probably be in and out in like an hour.
Right.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
like me. Yeah. I'm in and out.
I'm not really.
Yeah.
With
I can stay somewhere for a long period of time, or I can be in and out. Kind of like what this past week I did the release of the movie.
King's Goddamn. Charm City Kings?
Charm City Kings, yeah. I was in and out, because Euphoria is really small. It's COVID, so, you got to be careful. So I was like, hey, yo, Chino.
Love to see
you
guys.
Up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
IBS was there, and a lot of the extras and the people who were in the film. And, kept moving.
I ain't even know that they did. I didn't know nothing about it, so. But God bless that you was there.
Yeah, screw Marcus Screw. Shout out to Marcus Screw. He I think put it together. It was nice. So.
Shout out to them. They needed to do something like that, man. I feel like I have my things that I fuss about with it, but the fact that somebody is highlighting us on that level of a stage, I definitely appreciate them doing it. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that we had more control over that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it definitely would have been bigger if it went out on the screen.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree.
That was originally the plan, but
Yeah, COVID is like a mother. I wasn't tripping about that, but I just want more Baltimore people to be in control of how people set the visuals for Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Because like when you look at The Wire, they did a great job, but like inevitably, the ripple effect of The Wire. Whenever I go, like when I'm in LA and I'm like, yeah, I'm from Baltimore, they go. Crips. Like I was at Nipsey's storefront and I was like, yeah, I'm from Baltimore. Them niggas was like, yo, you a Baltimore nigga for real? Like, and then there comes the million questions. Yo, it's like, is it really like that? Yes, parts of the cities are really like that. They be like, yo, you go to Houston, I go to LA. I'm talking about everywhere I go, the reputation of the imagery becomes everything that people imagine what the city is. So, man. And that's the only reason why. I'm not trying to beef about people being creative or, whatever. It's just that, the true culture of the city sometimes gets interwoven into just the way somebody's trying to tell a story. So like, yes, we have a huge bike community, but now that's become the new thing. So now we've gone from it being Baghdad to now it's just a bunch of people going to think that all y'all do is ride bikes all over Baltimore City. And it's like, it's really not like that. Right. It's not really like that. Every kid doesn't have a bike. You know what I mean? There's a certain sector of people that live in a certain area and they enjoy doing this one little thing. And I'm like, but yes, it is a part of our culture, but it is not everything that we're about. You know what I mean? So anyway, once again, sir.
It's been dope.
Thanks for coming through, bro. Making the time. My doors are always open if you want to come and talk trash. If you want to jump on the couch with us one day and talk shit, I just want you to know it is very inappropriate.
That couch is heated debate.
It is.
And we put the topics up there, man. You know what I mean?
It gets pretty crazy.
Yeah,
it gets pretty crazy. And I
the
wanted
topics are crazy. Like, yo, you make it so controversial. Like,
and you would think
should your girlfriend be barefoot and pregnant in the house, even if you paying the bills? And you're like, yo, what? Yo, of course you're gonna get an argument out of that.
Yo, I don't think mine are that controversial. I mean, I guess they are.
Right.
It gets a little ignorant. But you would be surprised that a lot of the stuff that I end up posting the clips of, those are not the scripted things. Those are the stuff that just kind of naturally flows into an argument of, okay, the stripper and the finger and the vagina thing. Like, first of all, my homeboy blindsided me with that. Like, he's talking about my 35th birthday, and I was very drunk.
Right.
And I don't even remember if it happened in real life for real. But that ended up being it. I got stuck in an argument.
So what y'all say? What y'all come up? Did y'all agree? Or yes or no? Y'all say yes?
She said no.
Okay, all right, cool.
Pill and I. All right, first of all, I feel like this is what makes the argument hard. Fingering. They think that I done already got this girl to orgasm and all that. It was exploratory. Like, I've been in the strip club before and I have explored areas.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
You explore. You grab some booty. You're not going to rip the booty cheek off. You're going to grab it, see if it's firm.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're going to do a little vaginal play, you're just trying to check in. All right, you a female? Were you born that way?
I can imagine. I'm not in the strip club.
You know what I'm saying? All right. I can see where you're going. You might have, but when you was a single man out in the world, you wanted to explore.
Now, I was never really good at strip clubs because I was really aggressive. You know what I mean? I was one of them, and the bouncer was like, yo, chill. So after like one or two visits, I was like, yo, I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I can't take this anymore. Like, I can't have a woman in front of me and
she get naked and I can't get a piece of it.
Not do what I want to do. This is not natural. So, my days were numbered at strip clubs. I can count on one hand many times.
Yeah, I appreciate your honesty.
It's real talk.
I appreciate your honesty. A lot of niggas will be fronting. Like, yo, I see vagina all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Good at that.
Everywhere I go, they all naked. So, it don't matter to me. No, but this is real stuff. Right. So certain discussions do come out. So whereas when my co-host, Morgan, might be like, yo, you was playing with a coochie? Like, bro, wait a minute. Just from your tone, it makes it seem like I was like, yeah. But all it might have just been is a little bap. You know what I'm saying? She was giving me a lap dance. It's a room full of people. Plus, we're not in a strip club. We're in my house. And it was a party, and the stripper was not playing. We were just out drinking. It just so happened I had a house at the time, and in that house, I had a finished basement with a full bar. And we had like 6 or 7 hookahs. So just imagine like 40 or 50 people in your house. There's hookahs everywhere. There's liquor everywhere. There's girls everywhere. And it's getting a little wild. My homeboy busts in the door with 3 girls, one of whom is a stripper. She starts getting naked. Another star starts getting naked. And we just...
Right.
It's euphoria.
It blossomed into something.
It just blossomed into a beautiful moment.
To a story, did y'all?
To a story where, like, I end up getting a phone call from somebody later on, and like, yo, what's up with this and you and putting fingers in vaginas? Hey,
right.
No. That was 5 years ago. Calm down.
Right.
6 years ago now. So anyway, that is that. But this forum is so that we can have more appropriate conversations.
Yes, I like this format.
Yeah, I want you here to inspire me and the youth, like, and us older people that don't know what happens.
City
like,
Guys is definitely one of them brands that it's a mixed bag from, I would say, most of our clients are 25 to 30, probably 40 years old. So you get we really want to reach out to more of the youth and get their input into building our brand, so.
Word. Yeah. That's the way to go.
Come see us.
Thank you, sir. So once again, thank you so much for spending the time and coming with us. That. Please keep us in your thoughts. Like, if you got new stuff, as always, you always DM me stuff. So I appreciate. I just wanted to say I appreciate you continuing to DM me and not taking anything personal. I appreciate
right. Yeah,
that.
definitely. And I think you send me the content, you know what I mean? I watch some of it I can watch, some of it, and I'm like, yo, this is wild, so.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And it's like, yo, if anything, I'm happy at the fact that when you send me information about events, I at least appreciate the fact that I know what's going on.
Yes.
And I may not always be there, but I'm always like, yo, there's a silent party going on. Why don't you go and support my mans and them? Y'all just go down there and show love and shit. To me, I feel like that is the important part about this ecosystem, is that, we can continue to exchange, you know what I'm saying, and give out information. You can give me information, and it's been a long time coming for us to sit down, but I feel like it was meant for us to sit down in this forum and talk like this, because your story, you got a story on your ass, and you ain't even gave me the story. You keeping everything for the book. You ain't
keep for the book, so
you
watch
ain't
out
told
for
me
the book.
about no wild nights in the spot, like, you know what I mean?
Man, this journey has been beautiful. So
Word.
I definitely, for all the people who were originally in the store and then ended up passing away or being killed, which is a lot of them, and all people who moved on to LA and Atlanta and got their start, for all the people who were doing horribly and went legit and got jobs now and they're doing really good. I've seen a lot of good transitions.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
For even you to even say that. Yeah, people have died. Damn.
Yeah, man. Dozens.
People died for the brand. Damn.
Dozens of people
big.
have. I mean, I would say, it's multiple dozens, 50, 60, 70, 80 people have passed in the last 11 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah. If we had to do a memorial to it, we definitely would be able to count them.
Can you give me one wild party story or show, concert story?
I think one of the craziest ones was probably the time in which we actually it was the gun trace task force came to our shop.
Wait a minute. Yeah, start from the top of that one. Yeah.
Gun trace task force came to the shop, man. I didn't know what they were at the time, but we were having this party outside, lit, you know what I mean? And people were smoking,
right.
And this was before, you know, it was definitely legal not to smoke, and it's, you know, you couldn't have any, you know, ounce of nothing. And they ended up coming through, and they were like, somebody complained in the neighborhood that you guys were smoking weed or whatever. I was like, well, you know, it's a big event. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Know,
you can't control every
50,
individual person.
60, 70, 100 people outside. You know?
Right.
So, any event, they come in, and one of the black dudes, I forgot his name, but he ends up, I recognized him from his mugshot. I was like, that was the dude that came out of the shop. He comes in, he's like, yo, all right, well, this is what we're going to do. If we have to come back here, we get another complaint, you know, it's going to be an issue. So he was like, let me get your ID. I was like, man, this is kind of extreme for weed. I was like, yeah, I'll show you my ID.
Right.
So my partner's like, yo, you know, he's like, I want your ID too. He was like, oh yeah, it's in the back of the store, you know, let me go in the back. So my partner goes in the back to get his ID. I'm still out there, you know, he's looking around, you know, the officer, I forgot his name, and he's like, what's up with your boy? I was like, So he said, I was like, well, let's go in the back, you know, see where he's at. I was just as clueless as he was.
Right.
So I go in the back, go to the back door. That shit was wide open. Like a Western, you know what I mean? Like like somebody. My partner dipped out the back, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't even go get the damn ID. He knew something that I didn't know, you know. Maybe he knew that was the Gun Trace Fast Force. But anyway, the dude looks at me. He said, oh, I see what y'all doing around here. Y'all dipping out on cops and shit. All right, cool. He was like, yo, just like, you know, Denzel from Training Day. He was like, if I had to come back here, trust me, if something happens, goes down, I'm putting cases on all you motherfuckers. He said that to us, man. I was like, yo, we just, you know, I was like, I don't know what happened to my partner, whatever. But he dipped.
You lucky I wasn't there.
Right.
Because the first thing out of my mouth would have been like, all right, Denzel, I see you having a moment.
Yo, but I had a great party going. I ain't with no problems.
right. But I wouldn't have been able to help it. I would have been like, come on, Denzel, come on now.
So, this is Gun Trace Task Force, so... Right. You know, these dudes coming in like 7, 8 deep.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was kind of weird. It weirded him out when he fucking left. I didn't pick up on it. I was like, these dudes seem like they coming looking for trouble.
Right.
But they were. So that's why I was like, hey, look, I didn't want no issues. So I was like, this is a great party going on. We ain't doing nothing. You know, keep it flowing. But, you know, that was the story, man. They jetted out with their vest on and shit. But Gun Trace Task Force, I had a run-in with them for sure.
Man.
It was real. And isn't a movie coming out about that? Yeah, it is.
Probably is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It probably
the dudes
is.
from The Wire doing something.
Really?
Yeah, it should be a movie.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy.
Yo, don't fuck with the gods, bro. Come on, man. Y'all know what it is out here, man. Come on, man.
I know, right?
Yo, y'all need to get a Wu-Tang that can wear y'all clothes, nigga, because that would just be the gods, nigga.
How would they
gods in the earth? Like,
right.
The melding of the brands would be phenomenal.
Crazy.
I predict that. I'm putting that out there. I'm gonna try to facilitate that. You know what I mean? And you from New York, you should be able to call somebody. Ain't Method Man your cousin?
I'm in contact with a lot of 5% up top.
Yeah, tell them to go ahead and
make
something to happen. Tell them to get them dudes down here. Because you know Capadonna stay down here.
Capadonna, yeah, I know Cap. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I haven't seen Cap in about 6-7 years, but yeah.
Yowzers. But all right. So look, make sure y'all follow them on social media. Make sure you support City of Gods. You go down there, you cop 3 shirts at a time, not one. You gotta get 3 shirts minimum. You know what I mean?
Trifecta.
And then y'all got hats. Y'all still got the hats popping.
Hats, yep.
Y'all got any winter jackets coming out?
Yeah, we got some nice stuff coming out.
Cool. All right, what's the prices around the wintertime?
Median prices for our product is, I would say, $40 for the hoodies. The hoodies can be from $60 to $50. T-shirts is $30. Jackets in the range of $90 to $120.
That's what's up. Hey, see, look, it's affordable for the kids and everything.
Yeah.
So hopefully they have a 3X for your boy, because I need a winter jacket. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to go down City of Gods and rock out. I'm taking the cameras, too, because I want to see what the new renovated space looks like.
Let's do it.
You know what I mean? Y'all keep supporting. This your boy, JS Wanna Supply, VVCRadio.com, Aries Lounge 101. We out of here.
Aries Lounge, peace.